Great attitude. Good. And full of things. Hope him well in the future, whatever endeavors he gets himself into. And thank you very much for your service to this community. And thank you for who you are.
Okay, we'll move on to correspondence report, which I don't have any. Do you have any?
I do not.
Approval of the minutes from 10/26. Do you want to say, Andrew? Make a motion to approve. Okay. Any discussions?
I think there was one thing that it said that we discussed the motion and then we made the motion, and I think it was the opposite order, which is the way it goes. So, with those two sentences, we got them. I'm going to get on here at the same time. Motion Mark made. Yeah, number 4, after the discussion and comments by the board members, it was actually Mark made the motion and then we have brief discussion.
So yeah, with adding that to your, did somebody talk from Ann? Did Ann say something? Yes, Ann?
Well, yes, what? Okay.
Oh, wait. Yes.
I'd just like to say that I like to go back to what we have heard or have printed what the commentary was by whoever said it. That's what's missing on the minute. And so as long as those minutes don't change, I'm not supposed to.
Okay, so under audience for citizens and staff. I don't think that's what was said.
I thought this was under discussion for a minute. That's what I said.
As, okay, so you're objecting to that we don't have like a discussion about the minutes was?
We're not following the format we voted on in the spring about details and the commentary. I think if people are saying it, we should be able to see what they actually said rather than those that.
I don't, the way I remember the minutes from the spring was that we being put in the minutes at that time. I don't think that was, in my mind, I think I actually made the motion about what it was. In my mind, it wasn't just as required to go forward, but at the time we were getting minutes that had more detail than we were used to. So we had made an agreement that was acceptable to go forward as long as it was factual. So, you know.
Can you give us an example? I don't know where you are on the minute. Yeah,
Number 4. So there, Juan is remembering discussion. There's no discussion. Remember,
we weren't.
I remember I made a comment before we voted. Exactly what I'm saying.
these aren't a copy of what was said, they're a copy of what was done. So I thought we had agreed not to.
We had a discussion about how when a person makes a comment during discussion, they may hear another person's point of view and change their mind about what it was, so we were not gonna put detail on who said what. We're going to put that.
We voted on the correction to the minute of vote. Specify minutes. I could have sworn that we voted to allow that. That we had gone to vote and we had approved.
We can go back and look.
We understand one that you'll be voting no.
You probably put in there one that you left at a certain time, so it doesn't look like all the that's later on in the meeting you were in favor of.
Yeah, that's, I think you wrote down the time on left, but I don't. I'll have to go back and look. Yeah. So should we not approve until we have that? Because I think that's an important part. Okay, great. Okay, we'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Okay, so I just have a few items to report on today. The first one was a thank you to the town and the Department of Public Works because they did help us finish off our beautiful new playscape. And I know that Mr. Cahill brought that up in the last meeting. So just a quick thank you to them for their help and collaboration with that. They've also been helping us repair some of our machines for the snow blower and tractors, and so that collaboration has been very much appreciated on our part.
So maybe between that, we'll no longer need to hire a contractor to do snow blowing.
That is our intentions. It is not fixed yet, but that is our intentions. Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly our intention. A PA system update I was able to share with F&O, but unfortunately they are experiencing manufacturer delays. So we may not have that until January, it looks like right now, but they are going to continue to reach out to the manufacturer and get an update on where the equipment is. They received some of the equipment, they just haven't received all of the equipment.
So you get all the materials, how long does it take for installation?
They said a week. So once,
Don't quit.
right, as soon as it comes in, it's a week of install. So that's where we are with our PA system. As an update for our 2023-24 budget, I just wanted to update you all in that we are working on that. And by we, right on my right here, Sally and I, and Sam on my left, and Shelly, we're starting our conversations and looking into the budget for the next year with our eyes wide open to just changes that are happening in our economy in terms of diesel and oil and some things that are just really out of our control, and trying to be as fiscally responsible as we can moving in. The last thing is that we are going to hold our second Board of Education workshop on November 29th. So that is underway, and I'm excited to continue to engage in our discussion on our vision for Hampton Elementary. Any questions? For November 29th for 5 o'clock, yeah. All right, very good. Oh,
there is, there's like a standard sign, like that you could
I
get.
just like to see it double, triple.
Yeah.
Put out to the parents, maybe.
Well, I was gonna talk to the selectmen, try to get in place.
Used to have. It's somewhere.
I think Juan is, hit the nail there. It's like a habit that people were doing, because that was the route
Yep.
with the COVID. And, but I certainly can shoot out a reminder and follow up. I made one. There's one up there that's like homemade.
Yeah.
I made that one so that,
It's just something.
yeah, there is one that's like official, like a regular road sign, but it's not much bigger than like this computer.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
This one.
Statement.
the main
Okay.
entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We aren't allowed to use that as an entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can look into that.
Yep.
Yeah.
One more thing. I'm supposed to give for that, but.
I'm not cheap.
Yeah, still don't have that. Yeah. I offer it to count. Well, you know, but you don't. That's a good.
On the one, hindsight, it can be different. Or is there?
Just for my own personal satisfaction.
I don't know what that's, but that's.
All you gotta do is add them up.
Like 26, if you have a map of 132.
No, because I got 26 kids in that bus there, they didn't sometimes.
No, 26 students coming in for the,
Change the fund, we basically, I just wanna, I hate to see it. Somebody asked. Well, the buses are going to look at you. I understand the numbers. But I.
Personnel board. It takes the whole board to direct the superintendent.
That's okay.
On to the principals.
Oh. So parent teacher conferences are starting tomorrow. Everybody's, getting their rooms ready and excited about that. After school today, we talked, we're continuing with some professional development during every other staff meeting, and we looked at a little bit deeper into parent-teacher conferences. Now, some of the students, the older grades will be doing parents-teachers conferences, or some of the students that are a little bit more prepared in the younger grades will be doing it. So parents,
Student-led.
Student-led parent-teacher conferences where the students can use their learning targets and identify them and show their parents the evidence of how they achieve their goals and the items that they need to work on and how long they anticipate it to take and where that will go. So the teacher sort of sits back and guides and supports them, but they take the lead and doing their parent-teacher conferences. We've done it before COVID.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've done it since we've been back on COVID. So it's if you see it, it's a fabulous thing. I can at some point, if you're interested, I can show you a couple of videos. I can put them in at the future. You could take a look at them. They're like 4 minutes, not of our kids, but some other kids. And everything else I believe is good. Are there, yes, there was a question I know last about the outplacement, because we were questioning that and we didn't have the exact numbers, but now we do. So
I mean, which more students? Yeah.
there were 2 students on the list that were not students. So they're not on the list anymore, and
Yes, we resolved it.
we did not pay.
We did not.
You're paying for kids that-
No.
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 We're charged.
They didn't pay it.
Go shut it down.
Yes, because we were able to verify. Yeah. That's way more than we anticipated last year.
One came in late. They got accepted late, so. It's STEM.
Yeah.
It's not outplacement life.
That's right.
And I think it was a short month, but I think so. But things are happening.
I like seeing the teachers' reports on there, because one of the things we always said you should look at the curriculum, but it really shows you.
Right. Yeah.
I thought it came late, but I actually did have an opportunity to read it, so it's good. It's raining morning.
Coffee reading.
Yeah.
I like that.
On to the business coordinator.
Okay, did anyone have questions on the budget versus action?
Well, I have a question. Can I ask something?
Sure, Diane, go ahead.
I'm, Sam, are you taking bids for plowing and all that, shoveling, whatever's going on there, going to be going on in the snow? Are you taking bids for that, or?
We're not going to do that because our plan is to have our current staff that we hired do that. I
Yeah.
mean, the town comes and does the, you
The
know,
driveway, yeah,
all the work that you guys did.
The parking lot.
yeah,
All we need to do is the sidewalks, a little bit in the entranceway, and to make sure that all the exits are clear.
okay, so your staff's gonna be doing that?
That's the plan.
That's the plan, okay.
Okay.
They did that in the past.
What was that?
Classroom, exit.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I'll be-
And the trouble, yeah, that's what.
And if there's a lot of snow, we would probably have a delay.
Right.
So there would be extra time to do that.
So I just have a question. You're not putting total for the whole budget.
I intend to certainly. If I missed it,
Just done. That would be the only.
oh yeah, it is there. It's the last line. It just doesn't say
It
total.
says total. Oh, it doesn't.
Just the word total is not there.
Okay.
So we're 1.25%. We should be, right?
Yes, we should be about 33% on things that are 12 months and about 20% on things that are 10 months.
So
And salaries will never look like that because of the balloon checks at the end of the year.
we're all pretty
Yep.
balanced.
Yep.
I'm looking at it. What is Connecticut Solar Lease 2?
That is our lease for our solar panels.
Okay. Term, when does it expire? Gonna lease forever? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you that. I can certainly find out and get back to you.
Why is it the same amount each month? It
It-
changes.
It does change, and again, that's part of the lease, and I'm not sure.
Is it by used or?
I think it has to do more with our usage or how much we're making, but we can find out and let you know. It's a very timely question, David, because I'm actually in the process of going through our lease and and what it is. So,
Yeah,
In the,
you figure it out. You get your.
yes, yes, most certainly.
in the money they owed us for producing elections.
Yeah.
At the end of the year in June, but it was so late, and it was hard to use that money before the fiscal year ended,
Yeah,
so they started doing it monthly.
so we're paying for the lease. And they're getting power into the grid. Where is the savings in the power for us? Is it reflected in the Eversource bill?
Yes. Yes,
$500 a month.
yes.
You know, my house is 200 a month.
And there's now
Mhm.
garage.
So
right
we
now,
must be making out pretty good as far as saving money. I wish I could actually see that. Dollar amount a month. How much are we saving? Is it in the Eversource bill?
The Eversource bill shows us our distribution, and we're not paying for any, the other usage.
Just pay for the lines.
Correct. Yes.
The delivery charge, right?
Correct.
So how much actually I would say?
Saving the whole use.
Yeah, no.
Well, we do. We pay approximately 8 cents per kilowatt hour from what we produce. But we don't have all the associated fees that Eversource puts on. So even if Eversource gives you 8 cents per kilowatt hour, they add on all these taxes per kilowatt hour, which brings it up to quite a bit more. So 8 cents might actually be 12, 13, 14 cents a kilowatt hour when you're buying it from the grid. So it's a complicated calculation.
We've had this discussion. Now back to the,
Try to figure it out.
where is the lease on the budget?
It's in electricity. So when we got the solar to keep our numbers, electricity numbers, 410, yes. Yep,
So every month when you pay the lease, it comes out of 410 account?
it does. Yep. I have a spreadsheet I'm happy to send you that shows what our lease has been every month and what our electric bill is every month, if that's helpful.
No.
Okay.
Just answer my question.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it is 29.45 already, so it's creeping.
Mhm. Yeah, and our, I think, yes.
Generation.
So Bill's going up 40%. I don't know what part of it.
I would say, David, that last year we used about $20,000 was our electric, so we may go over budget in that item.
Now, oil.
We haven't had to buy any yet. I know. So we are not locked in anywhere. We don't have a locked in price to any company at this time. And to be honest, that was a savings because the consortium was well over $4 when they locked in, and I did not lock us into that.
Yeah.
And as you see, it fluctuates literally daily. So
Kind of in that same vein, but yeah, we had the situation running 24/7, sucking cold air in because of COVID. Is that still the protocol? We still have to do that?
So we've done a lot with our air exchange in here because we're struggling with a comfortable temperature in here. So we are having full air exchanges in before the building opens, and again when the building there's nobody in there. They're set timed right now to do that.
Okay.
Yes, and we are, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty normal, so now it looks like. All right, now that's all I had. Thank you.
So while it's open, there is no air conditioning all throughout the school day for the children.
Say that again?
While you're here, all the vents are open, all the air exchanges happening.
It's 2 times.
It's 2 times, right? So it's in the morning before the building opens up, and then it's again in the evening. That's what I was told. That's how it's set up.
New England
Yeah, I
Mechanic.
was gonna say, is it New
And
England?
a fresh
Yeah,
air exchange
Only twice.
once a day, twice a day.
Twice a day. The system does still, yes, it still does that. Correct.
It's not like
It's not like it's sealed off, right? Correct.
They're doing
Not doing the
set of
outside
fresh
air
air
and-
exchange twice. The normal fresh air is coming in at the slower rate rather than. Make up.
I guess New England Mechanical here, and we can just make sure that, like David, just make sure that that's the case and understand during the day that there is at least air going to filters.
Yeah.
When was the last time they were here? New England? Beginning of the year?
Today?
No,
Today,
it was, yes,
yesterday?
today's Wednesday. It was Monday.
Because you had a problem.
Yes. I think we have
So they're
two,
working with you to try to-
there's 2 things together, like a compressor or what keeps 2 tanks together.
It's the air thermostat. Quality.
And one of the valves needed to be replaced.
So they've ordered the
They're
part to
here.
replace it.
Okay.
They are here regular.
The 35-year-old system.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like everything else.
You're right, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, and then I also sent out a breakdown of our new payroll system that we're going to be moving towards, which we're very excited about. I think there'll be a lot of benefits to the employees. There'll be a time savings for everyone involved in payroll and the tracking of paid time off. So I think this is going to be a very positive change.
So, all the time.
We do,
Checks.
but we do the checks, and we'll still be doing, entering deductions and all of that. But we have been using another payroll service that did our tax reporting for us and our W-2s and calculated taxes for us. Yep, this is just a new service. It does everything the old one did, and a lot more on the human resource side.
Are the teachers signing in when they come in the morning? On the computer or however?
Not teachers. Non-certified staff currently uses a punch card system.
And the teachers do not, correct?
Correct.
Send something in there about you will know who's in the building, when, and all of that too. So, yeah, right, I read that.
Yes, so I'm certainly, Sam knows who's in the building now, but this, the meaning there is that when she's looking at approving someone's request for time off, she'll be able to see quite quickly anyone else that's already been approved for a time.
So that's-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
And
Right now-
Sam, you know who's coming in and who's going out?
I don't know. Diane, can you say that again?
Yeah, I'm asking Sam if when teachers are coming in and when they're going out, leaving for whatever, an appointment, coming back, whatever is going on.
but they have to check in the office.
They have
They
to
can't
check in with you?
Yep.
Okay.
And there's a sign out book too. Like if it's lunchtime and they want to go sit at the picnic table, they
Mhm.
could sign out, sign back in.
To go sit at the picnic table?
Well, they're outside of the building.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I get it. I get it. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good tracking system.
I mean, but if they're leaving, like they have an emergency,
Yeah.
then they need to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
And sign the book as well.
I agree. As they should.
Love to talk to,
Does that go for the secretaries and are they considered, what are they considered?
well, they're considered part of the process. They also, it's a three-way checkpoint. They have to tell me, they'll tell, the office staff, and they'll also tell the sub person.
Okay,
So the person that organizes the subs.
sure.
Marianne, did you have?
Yeah, under maintenance and repair, we're almost 82%. Also, expendable equipment, instructional supplies, they're all,
Well, I would expect, general supplies, instructional supplies, and equipment to be spent mostly at the beginning of the year. Yeah, that's, oh, maintenance supplies. I can check on that. I'm assuming that we ordered what we needed, in the beginning of the year. In fact, I know we had a large order before our previous custodian left. We tried to order for the year. Okay. Anything else?
Any other questions? We'll move on to discussion and development of questions for member candidates. Because we didn't have that time left, so when it said unanimous, I could mislead people, so we're gonna wait.
It's actually coming from Diane. Diane, do you mind just muting unless you're talking?
What's that?
Do you
What,
know
you
how
want
to
me to-
mute? Do you know how, I can mute you. I just wouldn't be able to unmute you. Do you know how to unmute? I don't want to do that.
I can mute myself. You want me to mute myself?
That would be helpful. We're just getting some feedback.
Okay.
Thank you. It's okay. I'm sorry, Rose.
So did everyone get a copy of the draft questions? I think I have a copy. So I just turned on my,
You want a hard copy of it?
thank you. These are just something, thank you, these are something to work off of, they can change, they don't have to. I've sent every candidate except one because I just got an email address. A copy of a short cave article on the responsibilities for you. So they would know what's. It's great. Oh, I can stop sharing. And we agreed to come up with the questions we'll ask here, so we don't have to do it. Did you send that? You said. The draft.
Yeah, it went out with the agenda.
Thanks you.
could we get a copy of the article so that we
Yes.
know?
Yes, I'll do the schedule once. And I'll send you. Okay. And we don't have a question here about the article, but I thought we could a follow-up could be about that, so we know if they read paperwork, which is important to know if people are gonna be prepared.
Well, it does say, number 3 is based on the article. So we do have a question.
Oh.
Yeah. Based on the article you read, what do you understand a board member's responsibilities to be? So,
So that's. Does anyone have different questions? I'm scheduling, 15-minute interviews and then 5 minutes in between, so candidates are on top of each other.
One thing, or we have
The
to.
21st,
Okay, good.
and starting, we should be at 6, and the first interview starting at 6:05. I went up to 5. So applications going to be. Well, yeah, I didn't take the time to stop, but, I think there were a lot the first few days and then nothing till Saturdays. I don't think we'll get many. Yeah. I'm opening up now, so I can tell you. Oh, I'm not trying.
And they're all non-delegate.
Well, you know what? I neglected to ask.
And that should be a question.
It is in the advertising.
I know it was in the. So. 15 minutes each, is that enough time?
Yeah, so.
depends on if they're
And
talkers.
then we're gonna have discussion in between each interview? Or we're gonna wait for
Is that
the,
how you want to?
I don't know, I don't know if you had a,
brief discussion, but I thought we wanted, I didn't think we'd want to leave a lot of time between interviews, because I didn't get the impression people wanted to be here. Yeah. And then we will vote that night. After our interviews.
it'd be nice if it was the parents. Home members and parents. That way around.
Well,
Okay, yeah, go on.
they're just, they're parents, but they don't have kids here.
Okay, so I can tell you who's, we have John Russell, Matt Rivers. I'm sorry, were you gonna talk?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We have, Matt Rivers, John Russell, Nicole White, Cass Foley, Jacob Fullerton, and Susan Crawford.
Sue, what's last name?
Crawford.
Super.
Who's after Nicole White?
It's Nicole White, Cass Foley. It's a hyphenated list. Jacob Fullerton and Susan Crawford.
Do any of you guys know any of these people?
I
Sam told one of them about the openings.
I'm not gonna hold it against you.
no, I do know one. I'm like, oh, that,
Okay,
So my understanding is there are 3 parents. Nicole White, Cass Foley,
mhm,
Jacob Fullerton, and Matt Rivers are all parents.
okay.
So one detail that I haven't nailed down is someone should meet the candidates at the door. I'm happy to do that in between and then walk them down to make sure that they don't overlap.
maybe you should give them a time, it's like 15 minutes. You know how we did it?
I gave them 20, the interviews are 20 minutes apart, and I was thinking about a 15-minute interview. So that'll give us 5 minutes. Okay, great.
Okay. Not to hold everybody up to you tonight, but the questions, can you go over what you had, quick?
Yep.
I know I don't have it with me, so.
Briefly tell us about yourself.
Yep.
Why do you want to be a board member? based on the article you read, what do you understand a board member's responsibilities to be? Are you available to attend 1 or 2 committee meetings in addition to monthly board meetings? And do you have any questions for us?
I don't think we're 15 minutes.
Yeah, unless you have someone who's not to talk. But that's fine, they don't have to talk. No changes or additions? Okay, we can have a follow-up question based on their answers to these questions. Or we could dump one if you don't
They
like.
covered the basis, so.
Yeah.
If they understand. Be on the board, and then why they joined. It's like a cover. And
Maybe how long they
points.
live in town or anything, that kind of stuff. It's kind of,
Does it matter?
you know,
No, but
just let them talk a little bit about themselves. But and say it fine.
Will we each be taking the question, or do you want to ask all the questions and share, or?
we can do that, but we only have 5 questions.
Yeah, we won't all say them. We could do that in the the day of the meeting.
And really the two things more comfortable, I would be going to meet the candidates out, just separation and stuff like that. Let me know.
Okay. I think that's one of the best. You get the most knowledge of the person out of the interview. So I always like to read.
Right.
Yeah,
I wanted to offer that.
thank you. Oh, no, I think we should take you up on that. So that's it. We'll move on now. Okay. Discussion of meeting dates for board and committee meetings. Did we have I saw it.
Yeah.
I just got 2 corrections,
Oh, okay.
but I'll give this
I appreciate it.
correction. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if I'll, do we need to move on? I think we usually.
Well, we would
right?
post these, yeah.
Yeah.
If you agree to them, we'll post them, so they have regular meetings.
So it's only the economic.
The FNO just for November and December, because we do the meeting a month early, or a week early, sorry, those just have to be a week earlier than what's listed.
Yeah.
In the draft.
Exactly.
So that's this one.
Yeah. That's all. But I'll move that we,
Do you have those
Okay,
dates?
just quick.
okay,
Well, I'm okay with, so I joined the policy committee and I cannot make this. I can't come to a meeting at 4:30 and then another at 7. It doesn't work for dinner. So we're gonna have to do a different list there, so let's not include the policy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
so I'll move that we accept the proposed meeting dates for the 4 committee meetings with the correction to the FNO meeting for November and December, and with the omission of all.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion on the hearing none? All those in favor? Aye.
Diane's home.
Diane, you can unmute if you're in favor or not. Or if you're.
I didn't hear the question. The only one coming clear are Samantha and Sam. Everything else
Okay.
is mumbled.
Okay, I apologize for that. There's a motion to
I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear Mark?
Not clearly, no.
Can you hear me when I get up close to the mic? Diane can't hear me.
Diane,
Barely, barely.
still barely?
Now I can hear, yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. So basically, we just, as far as the meeting dates for next year, we made a motion to accept the minutes with corrections to 2 of the F&O meeting dates for November, December, and then with the omission of the policy committee. So that's the motion on the floor.
Okay. All right.
So Diane, are
The
you
camera.
voting yes or no?
Yes. Thank you.
Is Ann voting yes or no?
Ann voted yes.
Okay. Are there any opposed? Okay. Abstentions. Motion passed.
So I'll post those. That's
Thank you.
So I send them to the town clerk and to the whole distribution list, and then the town clerk puts them up as regular meetings.
Oh, I apologize. As part of your report, it would be opposed if we go back because some confusion about people are getting agendas for committee meetings they don't go to. And the reason for that is because Sally has one distribution list and you don't have a separate distribution list for each committee. Because your distribution list counts everyone who gets something.
Yes.
So it is confusing for people who, if they aren't on, say, F&O, they're getting the F&O, and they're not on evaluation, but they're getting that. But I don't know how we can fix it. Other than once we have a new board member, we're going to have to redo committees anyway. So if I can regularly send out just a reminder of what committee everyone's on. I know I found it confusing at first. I was on the board actually before we started working, so we've been doing it that way a long time. I found it very confusing too. So it would be an awful lot of extra work for Sally, who is again. It would be easy enough just for me to put on my calendar, send this out on the first.
Now on that, you don't have possibility the ad hoc, no schedule. Ad hoc committees,
Yes,
like calendar, yeah.
right.
You don't have to do that for the whole year.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it for the whole year, but we have to
Got a committee set 4, 5, and 6.
Except an ad hoc committee is over once you
Yeah,
meet your charge.
I know.
So. What,
Those get posted on the town website too, though, right?
Most of the things that get sent out, and they'll be posted up. And
I don't know how long. It's going on. I guess we should do that.
just wait.
Okay, thank you for going back for that.
I will say, I can't speak to those meetings as much as I probably should, but I mean, the rest of the board, they can't participate in meetings, but like, so far, it's in public meetings. So, I mean, all the people on the board want to understand what's going on with those other committees who couldn't go and just sit in as a citizen. So the information that they can have, like, they are meeting, and if I had the time, I'd try to, I'm like getting.
Yeah, some people get We're just going. I think there was a meeting that they have to. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah. Okay,
We get the new committee assignments, we get the new board member on board, and you can redo the committees and publish it.
all right, so
What
now,
meetings we have to go. Should- So,
the audit committee, you should have been consulted about, and okay, on to committee and liaison reports. So communications, I don't think is met, right?
No, we're gonna meet the December 8th. I think.
Okay,
FNO did meet, let's see, last week. So we discussed the PA system some, and then, we had a presentation from, sorry, the company, AirTemp, thank you, about the mini split system. We asked them to do a little bit more homework just because the proposal they sent us did not necessarily cover as much of the heating as we would have liked. It was more focused on cooling, which just because of the economy of scale, we were actually interested more in the heating. So they have gone back to us, but we are, I'll say, optimistically nervous that, you know, that proposal still might not be apples to apples as far as the tool goes. And so we just want to make sure that that's the case. So they're being asked to do like the full school assessment. So anyway, still working back and forth with them. And then, yeah, and
It wasn't in our meeting, but we had an email, Sam said that ESC can come on November 22nd. They'll be here pretty much the whole day. They will bother the kids. They're gonna look at equipment, and they're coming December 15th at our next
there's
FNO.
other things to be honest too, right?
No,
Oh.
it's similar initials.
Okay.
But this was the second company
Oh,
that
got it.
David and I met.
Yeah,
And they were referred, yeah.
okay. So anyway, that's the mini split system is still ongoing, and we are gonna keep it as an active project because especially in 2023, it sounds like there's even more incentives that might be out there to go do a project like this, and it would save us a tremendous amount from a fuel perspective. I'll say that's our biggest focus of support of the case. All right, that's all.
policies met this afternoon. And we'll have two policies to introduce at the December meeting, with approval at the January meeting. And then we'll have two more policies at the January meeting for the original presentation. And the ad hoc job description subcommittee did not meet because we're waiting for an answer from the lawyer. The ad hoc minority recruitment and retention subcommittee did not meet.
We do have the video. You want
What?
the video if you would like to?
Oh. But we do have a video. Okay, let's watch our video.
Sorry. Diane, are you still able to hear me? I think I had muted you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yep,
Okay. Can you tell me if you can hear the video when I play it?
sure.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Maybe go to the same system.
Try that. Can you hear that now?
Nope. Better than before though, but not, no. I probably put it up to my ear. I'll hear it.
From the, it's hard every day to choose not to expect, but I'm listening. Three, still learning. Don't give up. Like, I'm awake now. Bless. Bless.
Maybe we should
Well,
put
then,
out the retreat.
that's why I'm back in my safe space. to Have another comfortable conversation. You see, so many of y'all sent emails and I've read them, and there are three consistent themes, questions that have been asked that I want to address. The first being, well, Emmanuel, what about the broken Black family? What about the lack of Black fathers? Isn't that the biggest contributing factor to the lack of success for Black people? Statistically, maybe, right? 64% of Black people grow up in a home with one parent, as opposed to 24% of white people. Growing up in a single parent home, it makes you 4 times more likely to be impoverished, twice as likely to drop out of school, and significantly more likely to end up in jail. I thought about it and I realized it's not that Black people don't know how to love. It's not that Black people don't know how to commit. Think about the history. The initial fracture in the broken Black family, the initial fracture in the Black home started with slavery. Prior to 1865, remember, Black people were viewed as property, not people. When Black people wanted to engage in marriages, they were called abroad marriages because the husband may belong to one owner while the wife and children belonged to another. And as a result, the husband would only be able to see his family on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so long as his owner, his master, permitted. When I think about that, I understand that this fracture in the broken Black family, the reason it exists to a degree, because marriage has only been allowed, has been lawful for Black people for 5 generations. To put that in context, my grandparents have been allowed to be married. I don't say that as an excuse. I say that to give you understanding, my white brothers and sisters. I say that to give you empathy, my white brothers and sisters. You know, another question I get asked, well, Emmanuel, if I as a white woman want to wear braids, how do I know that I'm not being offensive? What is this concept of cultural appropriation? And I think about 2 things. In the late 1800s, Jim Crow laws were formed and they disenfranchised Black people. But you want to know where the name Jim Crow came from? It came from a main character in Black minstrel shows, where a white person would paint on Black face and take red lipstick, draw big red lips on their mouth, because full lips, were a distinguishing trait of Black people. And they would take these traits and mimic and mock Black people. And traits that had been used and attributes and parts of Black culture that were once mimicked and mocked and made a fool of are now celebrated when a white person does it. 2020, the doctor's office, lip injections, they occur every 20 minutes. Beyond that, plagiarism, it's always been viewed as offensive. We all realize that. So while imitation may be the highest form of flattery, plagiarism, that is problematic. So wearing braids as a white person or borrowing Black culture, that's not the issue. Just make sure you know the history and make sure that you cite your sources. You know, another question I received, well, Emmanuel, what about reverse racism? Black people get Black History Month, but white people, we don't get a White History Month. To that I submit this. White people and white culture, it has always been esteemed in America. Me as a Black man, I navigate America. I navigate America as a visitor, whereas for white people, it's home. And so Black people, we often try to find ways to band together, to celebrate and esteem our culture, to celebrate and esteem ourselves. But when you think about racism, there are three components: power, privilege, prejudice. Two of those things, Black people historically never had it. I played in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles. In my first year on that team, there was a defensive lineman, 6'4", 320 pounds. And every single day, for whatever reason, he would bully me, make a joke about this, make fun of me for that. And one day after practice, I finally stood my ground. And I said, "You are the worst teammate I have ever encountered." You see, I stood up for myself. It would be foolish to say, "Emmanuel, you're being the reverse bully." Just imagine how silly that sounds. The same man, Black, what we've tried to do is stand up and esteem ourselves, stand up and band together. That's why we refer to each other often as Black kings and as Black queens, because a society and a culture that's forever tried to tear us down, we realize we have to depend on each other to lift one another up. I want to end this episode the same manner in which I started, with an email that I received. This came from a sweet friend, Renee. He said, 2 weeks ago, man, I was completely hopeless, deep in despair, fearing for my Black son's life and the helplessness that was destroying my will to fight and live another day. Then my sister posted your first episode and something changed. You showed me that there's hope for us. The example you were setting for my son is showing that strength is not in anger, it's in action. Your message filled my heart with hope, and so I say thank you. Change is coming, and it starts with you. And while that email was addressed to me, it really was addressed to you, because change is coming, and it starts with you. So for that, I say thank you. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of Comfortable Conversations with Black Men. I see your email. I hear you. Can you converse with me? The diamond in our safe space.
Thank you. That's an interesting perspective. Very interesting. Okay, the superintendent's, the ad hoc superintendent's evaluation subcommittee doesn't have anything from last month. We're going to be working on district goals. We will take the superintendent goals better. Now for Jay. Is she gone? So the game conference starts, I think, tomorrow afternoon. Oh, we'll pass for that. Talking about? That's on my. She's not on there. We'll pass. We'll go on to Eastbound.
Okay, so Eastbound meets every 2 weeks to go over the financial status of the organization, and we're just doing regular board meetings, policy meetings, facility tours and stuff like that. Our electric bus status, we are getting 2 free electric buses. We are on the wait list to
When they get charged,
where
at East Con,
that's Farley and these times. Just
so
Yeah.
that's pending.
that's pending, yes. But the advantage of doing it at East is they're paying for the electricity.
So I was getting at, sister.
Yeah. I don't know that they're gonna be able to monitor that specifically. there's gonna be Union, Eastford and Hampton that get the buses free. I don't know if they're also on the same wait list or not. We don't have a bus. Oh, yeah, like these bus, they're,
Snow removal and plugging in and for the block heaters.
yeah, they're,
But they do use our enhanced. Budget for the fuel.
Fuel.
They don't, Econ does not pay for the fuel, they fill up with.
We'll fill up wherever. right?
Town garage.
Town garage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had to research it because, one of the Board of Ed members for RD11 said something about being told that they canceled them because of fire, but that was on a transit bus, and transportation person wrote back that the positive and negative on the school bus are not in the same place, they're separated, so there's no canceling, and we're getting two because that's how many buses we use.
I
If we
think
were
it's-
using
we
three,
have-
we'd
yeah, we'd have to
three.
have charge station.
Yeah, but the charge station comes with the bus. Yeah. So,
Eric and I, our schedules just haven't aligned for us to meet,
Yeah.
but we will. Yeah, we will. Okay, Diane. It's okay, we're almost done.
So Mary Ellen, if, I'm just thinking back about the electricity and so if we're making more electricity than we need and EastCon's going to charge us, wouldn't it make sense to have it here?
yeah, but where do we get the heat pumps? They're gonna be, those are run by electricity.
Okay, so you think we'll be
Yeah. I mean,
over on,
although one of the vendors said that, they're super efficient compared to other, heating systems and yeah, so I don't know how much electricity, hopefully the third company that comes in can explain that better to us. But, yeah. Okay.
Which would be like eight kids on the bus.
Can't go less than 2 buses because the kids are on the bus very long.
I would want to go to, let's go now. I remember we used to do it with, I know when my daughter was up, she was on the bus for quite a while, but halfway through the year, they reversed it. So the route, so each, the kids that had the short ride had the long ride go after you and vice versa. I don't know if you guys, do that, right? I know we definitely created buses back then. So that everybody shared the long ride and had the benefit of the short ride. Because we didn't have the luxury of having our parents pick us up. They dropped us off.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, on to additions to the agenda. Does anyone have anything to add? I don't either. Next agenda planning, is there anything that people would like to see on the next agenda? Or if you think of something, please let either Dr. Sally or me know. Audience for citizens and staff. Yes, Juan?
I'd like to thank Mrs. Milton for inviting me to come to the classroom on November the 22nd at 10 to 11:30. And she wants me to speak about Native American and Native American history. So I want to start off with questions, general questions, do a history comparison of the Eastern people and the Western people, and bring in something artifact, and then end with two stories, oral story. So, and lastly, one more. Jamie Boss is volunteered to help us with our audio. Instead, he listened to the last meeting, it's kind of terrible over the internet. So he's volunteered to come in and help for free, no charge. Lastly, I went to have some discussions on this conversation with Black man. I feel like that Black man. And it's unfortunate that that hasn't gone away in the 3 years I've been here. The things that he speaks about, I feel walk into this room, and I feel when I walk out of it. And I haven't seen anybody attempt to change any of that. So, yeah, I'd like to talk about this conversation. Otherwise, we're just listening to tape, going home, regular time. Thank you.
Well, that's the agenda. For next time. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second?
No, it's good.
All those in favor?
Aye. For the record, I think we lost Ann about 8:10.
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Okay, we're adjourning at 8:30, no. 8:18.
All right.